Hello, so today we're going to be showing you how to put the new jacket, the zipped jacket, on the standard Indiana Jones figure. This one's the Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it has been customized a little bit with the hat that we make, the head from the last Crusade Indy, and then of course the gloved hands that we produce, and the gun belt. So we'll go through a little bit of that step by step. So the first thing you need to do is remove the arms from the Indy figure. Now I have a way of doing this that's a little bit easier, so I will show you that. And first thing you have to do is, using a heat gun, you're going to warm up that shoulder joint. And this is the stock jacket that he comes with. I just painted a little bit darker to match the Raiders of the Lost Ark look. So once you get that warm enough, what we're going to do is we're just going to pull on that joint and be careful not to pull out the inner cup there, but basically we're just trying to get that off. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other shoulder. So a little light heat is all you're going to need with this. You don't want to overheat it because it could melt the plastic or the rubber. And once that's done, you're going to go ahead and pop that out. Now see, if you pull, you're going to see that little cup there. Kind of hold that with your thumb or your finger so you can pull this out. And it shouldn't be that hard, but oh, popping his head off too. But yeah, it should look something like this. You're leaving the cups in there on both sides. So those are what give him the butterfly joints back there. And you can take this off for the time being, because I'm going to show you a little bit more about this belt. So basically I'm getting my hobby knife. This is just an X-Acto blade. And in here, this is what we're going to be working on. So the first thing I'm going to do, just to make it easier, is rewarm that a little bit. And then we're going to go over to our hobby knife, and we're going to do like a little cross bones here. Just one on top, one on bottom, and then left and right. And we're going to cut in as far as the lip of that joint goes. And we're going to do the same thing on this side and cut those. Now what that's going to do is it's just going to make it a little bit easier to get those arms in and out without having to heat it up every time. I don't like that it's so hard to pop them off, so this will help relieve some of that stress when it comes to changing the outfits out. Next thing I'm going to show you is on this belt. So this is our new belts that we offer that are more screen accurate than the ones that come with the Hasbro figures, and I get why they have to do that, but basically the belt itself has a little clasp here, which you can see. So this one is raw unpainted. So this is the actual belt as it will come, except ours will be, you'll have the proper paint job there. So basically this is going to slide open like so. You just got to be careful on the very end there. But it is a semi-rigid, so this is flexible to a certain extent. And then with the Thermo-Flex that we have with this, you can actually heat this up with a heat gun and it gets extremely soft, and that's how you're going to be able to snap that whip holder on. But the secret to this is how this belt and little clip, or that retainer works. So we're going to line up those two and just catch that little end, because you can see how it's a little bit crinkled there. That's to hold it in place once it's in position, so it doesn't come off when you don't want it to. But basically you're going to sit that under that little catch, and then you can slide it into position. You do have to be a little bit careful about this little tip here, because that is molded in, but it's fragile, so these are not to be played with. This is more of a a display piece, because when you're making something scale, especially on a 1/12 scale, it's so small that you sacrifice some durability with it. These are to scale with the 1/12, so you can see how thin everything is made. and that is for a reason. So it looks good when it's on your figure. And this one is actually the Last Crusade model. So it has specific holsters for the Last Crusade and Raiders of the Lost Ark, with the configuration of the flap and the clip and how that works. So each one is different. Even the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull belt is going the opposite direction for the belt. So like in the movie, he had the belt flip-flopped, so I guess it was easier to get the holster off without having to take off the whip belt, or the whip clip. So that's why I did it that way. So getting back to this, once you have it stripped down like this, you can either use the bag that he comes with, or you can leave it off if you're trying to emulate the actual look from the Raven bar. But from there, it's pretty darn easy. You take this, which again has that force flex, technology, and you just push this down over the figure. Now you'll see there's a little bump up here in the jacket, and that's so when you get it in position, it'll kind of rest on top of the holster like so. So if you want that to be even a little bit more supple, and then once you get it to the point you're happy with it being flexible, then you can kind of shimmy it down on there a little bit better. Now, as far as the screen accurateness of this look, you'll remember in the Raven bar, he did not have the gun belt, so you can also remove that entirely, and when you seat that in there, it'll be absolutely perfect. So once we get that in, then we can pop the arms, which are going to be far easier to get in position now. Just applying some back pressure to the other arm there, and get that to where it's popped in. And we're going to do the same thing with this arm. Can't tell you how much that crosshairs helps. And then you can put your head back on, and you have the zipped up jacket look. On request, I can send this open, so you can then put it on yourself and glue it in position, but it is a little bit more difficult to do that. It's always a little harder, super gluing the UV resin, so this kind of alleviates that issue that you might have. So it's as simple as that, and this goes for all of our different styles of jackets. This is the other one that we make, which is a baggier look than the one that it shipped with, the original stock model. But this is the Last Crusade, where he clearly had a baggier jacket. This will give you a better look in comparison, a Harrison comparison here. So I'm going to extend his arms down a little bit. But you can see the difference between the stock jacket, which was kind of tighter and more flared out at the bottom, to the other one that we make, which is the Temple. It's good for Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. We even use it for our Mystery of the Blues Indy, because it's much fuller and it supports the sweater that he has underneath. And then of course the Crystal Skull and the Dial of Destiny, he had that fuller jacket. The Raiders was the only one that was super tight, and all around. We are considering redoing these sleeves, so they're a little bit more like the ones from the latter movies as well. But in a nutshell, that's how you do that. It's pretty easy. I hope you guys have fun with customizing your figures, and if you need anything else, drop us a line in the comments, or follow us and ask questions on our Facebook page, the Scott Fenster Sculpture Studio, or Scott C. Fenster. So thank you guys for dropping by, and I hope this helps. Talk to you soon.